Hi, everybody. It's time to get started with our first day assignment. And so let's talk about this. First of all, just leading into the course, we want to talk about what is data. And frankly, we often think of data as what would be in a spreadsheet, right? With a bunch of numbers and columns and rows. And that is data. That's structured data usually, and we'll deal with a lot of that. Um, and we also have, sorry, um, unstructured data. We'll talk about that. Unstructured data is what has kind of changed in the last 20 years, where we have photos. I mean, think about what goes on social media. There are sentences and paragraphs on social media, there are pictures, there are videos. So all of this is unstructured data. Okay, so we have structured data and unstructured data, and so what do statisticians do with that? Well, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to create visualizations that tell a story about the data, that help us see things that are true within the data. And and we're also going to talk about not just um, you know the brief glance that we get, but also we'll be able to scientifically ask and answer questions. We'll be able to have a scientific hypothesis and test it using statistics. And I already hinted towards this. The big change in data in the past 20 to 30 years is that we have all of this unstructured data. So data has just exploded. And we had some of these things before, but in terms of it all being on the internet and aggregated on social media websites, also a lot of companies like Amazon are selling things, and they're keeping track of their customers, what their customers buy. So all this data, this digital data now is stuff that can be analyzed. And so what do data scientists do? Well, they're problem solvers for these companies and that have all this massive data, and they can get that data, download it, organize it, and ask and answer questions. So we're going to get a little bit of an insight into what's going on with that this semester. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the first day assignment. So I'm going to go through this and show you, but we start in D2L and go to the course calendar, and it turns out that the course calendar is where we're going to go. It's where all the links are that we're going to need for all the activities we do all semester long. Okay, so give me just a second. I'm going to pause this, jump into D2L, and show you all what's going on. Okay, so here we are in D2L. And first thing you're going to do is click on the Start Here. And then notice there's the course syllabus, but course calendar. Here we go. So click on the course calendar. And by the way, we're going to be here a lot. So remember how to get here. And so you can see notebook one. So these are the learning notebooks. These are the ones that when I create instructional videos, the notebooks that we use are going to be in this column typically, okay? And the one we want though is over here. It's kind of hidden. So I'm going to actually have to adjust my browser, right? So I'm just going to click inside the table and I'm going to use my right arrow to go over. Oh, and I can see this is our first lab, which will be due this week. And here is the first day assignment. So this is the first day assignment. It's what I want you to click on, and it's going to take a moment. It's going to take you into your personal part of the UNG Data Hub. It's going to open that notebook. And by the way, you will have your own piece of the UNG Data Hub, and all of your files will be saved. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but all your work is saved. And you can access these from any computer or even your cell phone or a tablet if they have access to the internet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on first day assignment. Okay, this may take longer for you than it is for me, and you will be prompted to put in your UNG credentials. So again, just your UNG email and password that you use to log into any that you use to log into to D2L probably, um, and onto a university computer. And it does take a while, although after you've done it a couple of times, it does speed up. So this is the Jupyter Hub, the data hub. All right, and it's still loading. So I'm going to pause the video. Well, no, here we have it. It's back open, so you should see this. All right. And what are we going to do today? Okay. Um, so we're going to complete a survey. All right. But I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, we need to talk about cell types. All right. So there are two kinds of cells, and one type is code and the other type is markdown. And again, if I'm typing text, I need a markdown cell, and that allows things to be the typesetting to look normal, like in a Word document. Okay. And code, these are the statistics commands that we're going to use. And I'll show you about that. And we'll talk about how to execute these code blocks. So let me get rid of the marker pen there, and let's jump back into Python. Okay, so to execute this cell, right, and you can see this is text, right? And notice that it's markdown, and you just hit run. Run will actually just execute that code block, okay? Or you can hit Shift Enter, okay? So I can hit run or I can hit Shift Enter. Either one will work. All right. And what does your name? Respond to this by replacing the ellipsis inside the quotation marks below with your name. Okay, so I've already done this, right? But you'll have the ... Okay. And I'm sorry, it has the quotation marks. Now, don't erase the quotation marks, okay? Just type your name in. So you're gonna have name equals and then open quotes and then your name and then close quotes, okay? And how do I get it? I just hit run. And when I hit run, everything should be good to go. All right. I am a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, dual enrollment. Okay, so here, let's say I'll be a junior today, right? And then notice here it says do not alter the code below. Why? Well, it's going to tell me based on what year I put here, it's going to tell me something, okay? And notice that instead of saying it's year 3, it says junior year because this is some code below that we give to you. So real quickly, are you going to have to learn the code that I've highlighted? No, you're not going to have to write computer code in this class. Anything that's more than just a standard statistics command, we give you that code and just let you execute it. Also, let's jump back. Well, we'll talk about where you can get some help. That's all in D2L. There are a couple of different help pages that we'll talk about as we go. Okay, so your job is to fill out all of these, and there's a few questions. And then what happens is when you get it all done, right? When you run this cell, then it prints out a paragraph. Okay, now I haven't filled everything out. So sorry about that. You won't get an error if you actually answer all of the questions. And just make sure to read it. And when it says do not alter the code below, don't alter that code. So real quickly, what do we need to remember? We need to remember that I can click on run to execute a code block, or I can press shift and the enter key. Okay, let's talk about the file menu and saving. Okay, because here's the thing. Now that you have this place in the data hub, right? It's your personal space. All of those notebook files are located there, and they're your copies of the file. And when you come back in and you click on that link and you go back to that file is going to have all of the work you've done. So let's say that you're working on a lab and you've been working for a half an hour, but you need to go to dinner, but you're not done. Okay, make sure you hit save. and that work will be saved. And when you come back in, you can go to it with that link. So let's hop back in here, right? So what do I want to do? Okay, so save, I can just click on the little save icon there. You can see the little disk. All right. And notice that it says auto-saved. So it will every so often go in and autosave. But the problem is if you're grabbing another browser, if you leave it inactive for a while, sometimes um, it will quit autosaving. So again, you just want to hit save. You can also, there's also save inside the file menu, but boom. And notice this checkpoint created. I'm sorry. Notice right in here, let me draw this. Notice right here when I hit save, notice what happens. Okay, so hit save, and then it says checkpoint created, and it tells you the time. All right, well, that's cool. So you do know that it's saving, and that means that every single thing that I put in this notebook is going to be saved. And if I were to leave it, close it out, and come back, open it back up, I just have to click on the course calendar, come right back in here, and then my copy is saved inside the UNG Data Hub. All right, and that's totally free. You just use your UNG credentials for all of that. Okay, so this is saved. Your job is to answer these questions. Okay, when you're done with the questions, there should be a paragraph. It's actually just 2 sentences right here to tell me about you. Okay, and then we need to download the Jupyter Notebook so that we can upload it into D2L, right? So what we're doing here to finish the assignment, right? We need to export this as a PDF. Now, if the PDF version doesn't work, we can try HTML. Okay, so this is a backup, just in case we can't get the PDF to work. And sometimes the PDF is a little annoying. But if the PDF won't work, save as an HTML, and then we're going to upload it into D2L, which I'm pretty sure y'all know how to do. Let's jump back in and do that, right? So all I have to do is File, and then do Download As, okay, and then PDF. So File, Download As, PDF, boom, okay, and then the screen goes blank for a moment till it has to think for a second. In other words, it's doing that conversion to a PDF and getting all the text and graphics and colors, it's getting everything right. And then hopefully here in a second, we'll actually see the first day assignment. Okay, and then this is actually a copy that's popped up in as a PDF now. So I can save my PDF. I can do, well, it's actually in my download folder right now, but I can save it. And let's talk about that because there's actually some things that we should do, right? And it says I'm supposed to save it. And if my name was Jacob Jingle Meyer Smith, then the file name would be Jingle Myers Smith _J _first day. Okay. So there is a naming convention. All right. And now it says now download this notebook as a IPyMB. Please don't. Okay, so you can see file, download as. There is the Python version, and the notebook version is the IPYNB, right? So we call that IPyMB. Don't upload these into D2L, okay? What we want to upload into D2L is PDF, okay? And if the PDF isn't working, I can export it as an HTML file, okay? Then that's going to be in my download folder, and then I can name it correctly, right? With your last name _ first initial, and then the assignment, okay? And then upload it into D2L, and you're done. Okay, so that's a brief intro to how to use Python, how to use the Data Hub, and we'll get back to you tomorrow or Friday with um, some additional instruction. Have a great day.